We're now at the console area of the Prisma MRI scanner, and this is where I would sit as the experimenter, and I would watch the participant through that little window behind me as they do my experiment. From here, I control what sorts of scans are happening via this computer. I would typically start a scan, then move over to this computer, which controls a screen inside the scanner. Then you can do all sorts of things like display instructions for them, or maybe get them to do a psychological task. This is just an example of a memory task that I sometimes use, where participants have to push buttons on a gamepad when they see these images and try to learn a hidden pattern. It's basically a very boring video game. But obviously for our sleep experiment, they won't need to do anything like that because they'll be asleep. To the left of this, we have the rack, which includes all sorts of useful equipment that you can learn about later by clicking on this icon. And I can talk to them on the intercom here. So in a sleep experiment, I'd probably ask them if they're feeling okay. Are you feeling okay? Tell them to relax. Relax! And maybe read them a bedtime story. Chicken was a chicken. And so our participant drifts off to sleep, and then we can peer inside their brain to see what's going on. It's like magic, but it's not magic, it's science. The first thing that happens is that you see a gradual decrease in activity in the cortex, which you can kind of think of as the outer blanket of the brain. Here we find regions that are associated with conscious awareness and the processing of sensory information, like touch and sight. Which makes perfect sense, right? You're no longer seeing anything or touching anything, so those regions are less active. But we also see increased activity in subcortical regions of the brain, so that's deeper down underneath the blanket. And this provides a clue that these deeper regions are critical to actually generate and maintain our sleep. One of these regions is called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is fun to say, and it's this tiny little structure that governs your whole sleep-wake cycle. You can think of it as a biological clock that tells your brain when to sleep, chicken was a chicken, and when to wake up. What's really fascinating about sleep is that this picture changes dramatically across the night. So the decreases in cortical activity that I've already shown you, they happen in the light stages of sleep, what we refer to as stage 1 and stage 2. But then you enter a really important stage of sleep called slow wave sleep. And that's followed by another very important sleep stage called rapid eye movement sleep, or REM sleep. Why are these two sleep stages so important? You're going to find out in the last two videos.